listen. I've been out for a couple days now. Just had hip surgery. I've just been watching. I've been watching. It's one day before election day, and I just could not stand it anymore. I have to stop the misinformation.
This is how to cast a bait caster so you never backlash ever again. What you're going to want to do.
No. This is very misleading information that this guy's put out. And you'd be okay if you were using the same kind of a reel that this guy's using, his equipment. He paid top dollar. But for people like me, who just don't have that kind of scratch laying around, well. Alright, so not all bait casters are created equal, okay? Right here, you can see we got the whole combo, the actual combo that I use, right? Reel and pull for 119 bucks. Let's talk about the anatomy of a bait caster real quick. Alright, here on this table are 4 bait casters that I have taken from their families at a young age, and I've raised them to catch fish for me. This is my older Lew's American Hero setup. Here you can see the tension knob and the drag. The bail release button. Here you can see the same thing on the Abu Garcia. Here you can see the same thing on the Temu thing. Here you can see the same thing on the new American Hero setup. And here you go on the other side of all the reels, you can see the brake knob, right? Same, right? Same. Like on all different manufacturers, even the Shimano, very similar. In the original video, you'd probably be okay. If you had that Shimano reel that he has. If you have reels like I have, you're not going to be okay. You're not. And I'm not saying because the information he put out was wrong, but it was kind of misleading because he didn't explain a whole lot, right? What the tension knob actually does, what you're doing whenever you're allowing your bait to fall after you have adjusted the tension knob and released the bail. And he definitely skips over the whole braking system, right? He just says go ahead and put your brakes all the way up to the max and you're good to go. Well, you're not good to go. You're not. And I'm going to tell you why. All right, here, what you're seeing here, this is a correctly dialed in tension knob, okay? You see whenever I hit the bail release, my bait goes down, it falls to the ground. My line does not create backlash, okay? All right, now here's the why. Why do we do this? Well, if the tension knob's too loose, bam, look what happens, backlash. Why does that happen? Because the spool keeps spinning even after your bait comes to rest. That's what causes backlash. That's what gives you the big bird's nest, right? That's the why. Okay, that's why you do this, and that's why you got to do it every time you cast out a new bait. We'll get to that. But the Shimano is going to be more forgiving than the Lew's. That's just a fact of life. My other point of contention with this video has got to be whenever he starts talking about brakes, right? So whenever he's talking about the tension, the spool tension, he's right about it, right? He doesn't tell you anything about it, but he's right about it. And what he does is correct. But when he starts talking about brakes, he just says throw them all the way up and go ahead and cast. You're fine. Right. But do you realize what you just did with that very expensive Shimano reel that you bought? you just cut the casting distance probably by half of what you're capable of, right? You just put yourself in a disadvantage. It's simple math. It's just science. The further you can cast, the more water you can cover, the more fish you can catch. Okay, just easy logic, right? If you're setting up your bait caster like that, then I don't care how expensive your bait caster is. My lose is still gonna outcast you because I'm adjusting my brakes properly. Because I'm not just gonna go overkill on the brakes. I might turn them up a little bit if I'm having more trouble backlashing. But I'm gonna play down low with the brakes. Why? Because I know that I'm gonna get a lot more distance on that cast if my brakes are lower, right? But that's conditions based, right? He doesn't mention that. He doesn't mention that at all. But I did, and now I feel a lot better. Okay? All right. Don't let those TikTok guys fool you. Okay? Don't let them fool you. Make very short videos. Little time for correct, explained information. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'll see you out on the water.